Hi, I'm Tom Sharpless, and I'm a spherical panographer. That just means I make 360-degree photographs. I guess you do that too, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. I'm going to show you how I shoot a 360-degree panorama with nothing to support the camera except my own body. You know that if spherical panoramas put together from a number of wide-angle photos shot in different directions from a single point of view, 360 photographers tend to use a lot of fancy equipment to turn the camera around that fixed point. And you certainly do need gear like this to make perfect panoramas consistently. But you also certainly don't want to carry this around with you everywhere you go. And there are lots of places where you're not even allowed to photograph from a tripod. So panographers have learned to shoot freehand. There's several ways of doing that, and I've tried them all over the years. Most require good hand-eye coordination and/or excellent dancing skills, but the one I have settled on does not. It simply depends on the fact that I'm still able to stand up without falling over. If you balance on one foot, you must stand straight. You can move your hips a little bit, but any more than that, you fall over. And when you're balanced on one foot, this point just in front of your ear is directly over the toe on which you're balanced. And it will stay there if you pivot on that toe and turn around. So all you have to do is put a camera there, turn around and snap away. It's easiest if you use a compact camera, like this little Sony, with a 180-degree fisheye lens. It covers floor to ceiling vertically, because then you only need to take 4 shots to make a complete panorama, and you do it like this. Knuckle up against the temple, tilt your head to the side a little bit so the camera also touches your jaw. Tilt the camera down ever so slightly. Snap a picture. Pivot 90 degrees on that toe that you're balanced on. Snap another picture. 90 degrees, snap. 90 degrees, snap. And then when I get back to here, I put my knuckle against the back of my jaw, which turns the camera straight up. And I snap the final picture vertically, tilt my head to the side to get it out of the view. One very important point that I forgot to mention is you got to keep your clothing out of the behind the lens too. So this hat brim would have spoiled that picture completely. And usually after taking those 5 shots, I would step back and take a final one straight down, so I'll have a nice clean nadir, because there's a little bit of foot there, not much. Now, I prefer shooting handheld panoramas with a longer lens, which is a so-called diagonal fisheye or full-frame fisheye. This is a Samyang 8mm. It's a native lens for this camera. Highly recommended. With this lens, you've got to take 6 shots around plus 1 up or down, just to cover the sphere with enough overlap for easy stitching. Again, I will probably take 7 shots, and in this case, yeah, I want to really get the clothes out of the view of the camera. So anything that sticks out in front like a coat, stick it in your backpack or whatever. Balance on one toe, camera tilted down about 15 degrees. Snap. I'm visualizing a hexagon. You can visualize a hexagram if you prefer. So I'm going to pivot what I judge to be 60 degrees between shots. It's not critical. This time I didn't go far enough. I think I'll take another one and then one straight up. The lens still in about the same position. Step back and take one straight down. And that's how I do it. Now let's do it for real and see if it works. Okay. One shot. Second shot. Third shot. Fourth shot. Fifth shot. Sixth shot. One up. And down. Now, in fact, when you're using this method, your other leg, I pivot on my right, so that would be my left leg, is propelling you, and it's balancing you, but it's not carrying any weight. When I'm out on a hike, I might use a trekking pole in the other hand to help me balance on a smooth rock. In that case, I might look a good deal like a tripod, but really with this method, you are functioning as a monopod, a self-leveling monopod. One of the nice things about this method is that you're not looking at the camera, you're not looking at some plumb bob or some fiducial mark on the ground, you're actually looking at what you're photographing. And that's very important in street photography, or whenever there's anything moving around, you have to time your shots. And so you only get, well, you know, crowd control, cloud control, you don't cut any buses in half, and so on. And this method allows me to concentrate on what I'm really doing, which is taking photographs. It's also pretty reliable. I've been able to stitch 98 out of 100 shots that I take this way. Sometimes it requires a little bit of trickery or patching up in Photoshop, but that's only because I wasn't calm enough while pivoting on that toe. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you practice panography in more places than ever before.